Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Yes, I'm in the squeaky truck on the bumpy road with now the jiggly, vibrating truck topper on it. I'm sure it's making lots of you very unhappy. I don't know. I understand that some of you like the cool little sound. Some of you couldn't care less. And then others, it's so irritating. Get that squeaky, bumpy truck fixed. It's an old pickup, okay? I don't care. So I wanted to, I don't know, do you think that things are going to get bad in 2024? There's just kind of this something in my craw, right? We've been talking about it for a couple of years. I think a big part that's pushing this idea that there's something big coming, whatever that thing is because there's a big election. And we all know that there's no way that the far left globalists, Marxists cannot risk losing to someone else, right? Trump, or even if it really, well, I'm not going to say any of them, but there are a few, and I'm not a Republican. I'm very much all independent on my own, lone wolf politically. But there's a few that they probably wouldn't care to get in the office. They'd probably do just as bad as what's in there. I don't know. But anyways, I'm not getting into politics. The point is that I'd say that we're up against a lot. It's like this 2024, especially when you look at this agenda, the 2030 agenda, all that kind of stuff. If you really start reading into that and the updates on it, they pretty much want to have everything in place by somewhere between 2025 and 2027. That's really the goals, to kind of have things for the most part in place by then, and then by 2030 everything is already done and switched over. So what that means is there's not a lot of time left, and I think that we could see some pretty crazy things. And I'm saying all of this, I know, the 2.5 minute long intro that some of you also hate, to say this. There's a couple of movies, one that just came out and another one that's supposed to be coming out in the spring. I've been kind of reading up on them. I'm not a new movie watcher. I don't watch, when my wife and we don't have, TV or anything. If we watch anything, it's usually like old videos, old TV shows and stuff. So I don't keep up to date on any of the new stuff. But there's one, they're both, I guess, going to be on Netflix. One just came out. What was it? I can't think of what it's called. Someone please help me in the comments, because my mind just went blank. In fact, I looked it up just before I pushed record so that I could remember it. My mind's already gone blank. Something like the way it's something I don't remember. Anyways, but it's an end of the world kind of movie. Basically, I guess there's some kind of grid the grid collapses for some reason. It's got some big names in it: Julia Roberts, Ethan Hawke, someone else, can't remember, but some big names in it. It's supposed to be, the beginning of the end kind of scenario. Interesting enough, if that movie is produced by the Obamas. Yeah, you heard that right. It's the Barack Obama production company, and supposedly they helped, contribute to the writing of it and the screenplay and all that kind of stuff. So it's interesting that that's coming out. And then from what I understand, I could be wrong. Again, I'm not a movie buff. The movie that's coming out in the spring, it's going to be called Civil War, and that's kind of a sequel, so to speak, of the situation. So the one that just came out is, there's a grid goes down and everything collapses and people just lose themselves, lose their minds, all this kind of stuff. And then the one coming out in the spring is the Civil War, which means that, it all falls apart when we go into this Civil War. I know sometimes it's just Hollywood, but there's also predictive programming. A lot of times it's to condition everyone. There's a few other movies, I've heard people online talking about these few other movies, I guess, that's come out recently, or TV shows that also kind of sort of fit into that narrative. But it makes you wonder, are they kind of softening everyone up? It's just like I was saying the other day with most of the Biden administration has been like they're kind of conditioning the American people to the fact that U.S. troops could very easily be on the ground soon in fighting Russia. I mean, there's already troops on the ground in Europe, so I can't really say that. But, so I wonder if any of this is just a coincidence, or are we seeing a narrative being built to kind of condition the American people that something's about to happen? You know, if you go down deep into the rabbit holes of conspiracies and stuff, there's this belief that these elites, these Illuminati, these, you know, demonic cabal of people, that they have their own code of conduct, like the mafia does. And part of their code of conduct is that they have to basically tell the people what they're actually doing. They can't hide it, and they can't, you know, do it without anyone knowing. They have to tell everyone, and so they do it through things like media, by, you know, producing a movie. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard this for years. Many different people have said this, so I don't know where that came from, but maybe it's true, maybe it's not. If it is true, you know, you can look back at movies and TV shows and like, wow, that happened, and then a few years later it really happened in real life or something very similar. So I guess my rambling on is to say this: it's quite possible that we are seeing a narrative being built to kind of condition the American people for a coming collapse. There have been a lot of predictions just in the last few weeks about an economic collapse coming in, about, you know, the US dollar, maybe not fully collapsing. Some say it will, some say it's going to lose a lot of prominence. You know, Saudi Arabia officially joins BRICS on January 1st, along with, you know, Venezuela and a few others. And there's been a lot of talk that Russia and China and Saudi Arabia are working, you know, really hard on some type of alternative currency. Putin the other day just said that the US dollar's dominance, it will come to an end soon. The head of the central bank of Russia has gone down to Saudi Arabia to meet with them. There's just a lot of stuff going on, besides the obvious big things that are going on. And so I guess it kind of starts to make you wonder if all of this is just being played out, you know, orchestrated for a purpose. Maybe not. Maybe the movies are just a coincidence. Although you can look throughout Hollywood history and see a definite pattern that follows the types of movies that are out, follows what's going on in the real world. But hey, that's just my opinion. So I guess what I'm saying is, you know, I don't know if you should watch that movie. It's on Netflix. Who knows what it's like, being that it's Netflix. But should you be getting yourselves even more geared up for, you know, really bad times ahead, really serious collapse, civil war, grid down? Just the British media has been warning Britons that they should be stocking up on stuff because they should expect a grid failure this winter. They should buy, you know, fuel and generators and food and all that kind of stuff to expect some type of grid failure this winter. I don't know what to tell you other than you need to be stocking up and preparing. It's hard times are coming, folks. One way or the other, they're coming. And if you're not ready, you're going to get left behind. You're going to get, it's not going to be pretty. Let's just put it that way. And you don't want to end up to where your choices are either dying or running off to a FEMA camp. So stock up, prep up, train up, pray up, all that kind of stuff. Get your houses in order. Prepare mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.